Hello, storytellers. Storytelling Ron here. It's a new year of For the Lord, our RPG. I'm starting the new year. I'm, just getting back into it. I've got some cool new stuff here I want to show you about the die ranks because it's been on my mind a lot. The die rank game mechanics has been very difficult to get across to everyone, veterans and new players. I mean, I had veterans say to me, "That's weird." But the veterans have then come around and saying, wow, this is pretty cool. This is unique. Like, I even have one veteran who doesn't want me to change it now that he's understood it. So I love the die rank system here. But it's frustrating to me because I think it's very simple to understand, but no one is getting it. Even the veterans, it takes them a while. So you all are the problem, not me. I should put a big window here. Or me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the it's obviously problematic. And I'm trying to figure out a way to better explain it. And I know in my rules, I've gone through many iterations of trying to, simplify and even there's the rules right now for the 4 RPG is kind of like a patchwork of a lot of different rules. Well, not different rules, but just, I was working out the die ranks and characters are going up levels and stuff. I was patchworking it all together, and I never really I need to revamp it all. I'm not changing the rules. I just need to revamp the way I've explained it and simplify it because it can be explained in a simple way. I've just got to figure it out. So I'm going to that's what I'm hard at working at. Actually, let me real quickly. I got my squeaky chair now. I need to do something about that. I'm 250 pounds, so I'm like, and I buy cheap chairs from Staples. I probably need to. I know someone told me about $1,000 chair, and I'm like, I'm not worth that much. I'm not that valuable. My back is not that. I'll just go do some, work out and get these aches and pains out. Anyway, of course, I gotta start. Let me just use this one I've been playing RimWorld Christians over the holidays, over Christmas, and my birthday was yesterday, so I'm just like, or 2 days ago. And it's been pretty cool. It's been interesting. I'm like vlogging, checking that out. And the last episode, man, devastating. But I'm playing it as a Christian, like pretending, and we're both, talking about Christianity and evangelism and trying to make the storyline about that. So it's been devastating. Anyway, so this right here, combat, and then here game mechanics. See, and I've got the die ranks here. I'm trying to explain it all. It's kind of a patchwork of the game as it evolved over time. Same game system, but I've had to now that we're after 2 years and 100 players, I've gotten into more heavier duty die ranks and having to figure that all out. And so it's kind of a patchwork of the original simplified version, and then going further into it. I don't know what my hands are doing all this stuff, but you don't see any of that. So I really need to revamp this whole thing and start from scratch, not scratch, but whatever. But it's all the same. I'm not changing the rules. I'm just trying to get out all this wordage and simplify how I explain it. So that's what I'm, having to start doing right now. And this is even in the free game, which I need to update this. I'm going to update Christian Space and Puzzle Epoch with the same thing, just to better explain it, sort of congeal. I literally can take all this stuff and kind of put it all together as one little simple explanation of the whole thing, as opposed to having all these little different separate little blurbs here. So that's what I'm going to figure out here in just a moment, as I'm working on this, and then I'm kind of done for my Kickstarter, my Dark Ages Kickstarter. I've got the whole campaign thing done. I got this pretty much done, the whole rule book, except I just want to homogenize, simplify, congeal this to keep it simple. I will confess though, I was working on a new game system, kind of using almost the same thing here, but the die ranks, instead of doing this, where you go D4, D6, D10, and using D20, I'm going to confess up here. I got to play test a little more, but it literally, it's funny. It's the same, almost the same as far as the die ranks and all that stuff. But instead of using the D20 and going up in die ranks, you just use D6s. So if you have 4 prowess and 3 battle axe skill, so you have 7. So you use 7 D6s, and then you roll and then whatever 6s come up are the successes. And there's more to it than that, but kind of like that. because I'm trying to desperately figure out a way to get this to be simplified so that who's my audience, right? Is it the veteran Christian RPGers? I'm finding that is not. I'm finding them to be so resistant to this, and I've been getting. I just now got a very contentious asshole. I'm just gonna call it. He says he's that and it gets under my skin. The Christians that do this to me. Because I said, I'm trying to get people away from the regular RPGs and into a Christian one. And he goes, oh, that's incredibly cringe. And then he left. And, it just pisses me off. Like, okay, if you disagree, that's fine. But you don't have to, that's incredibly cringe, and then just leave. And I don't even get to respond as a Christian. So he'd rather defend the pagan RPGs out there than talk to a Christian, a brother in Christ. And what I said to him was not even contentious. I was saying, well, we're working on this and that. Oh, that's incredibly cringe. And then he leaves. So that is not a Christian to me. F you. Fuck you. That's how it gets under my skin. Fuck you. Sorry. I know as a Christian, I'm not supposed to do that. But damn, I'm just, I'm not trying to attack you or anything. I'm just like, what the hell? I get Christians dogging me for trying to do a ministry, a Christian thing. And because of the defense of role-playing games, of Dungeons and Dragons, of Shadow Dark or whatever. Christians why are you defending those of all things, it's just it's just mind-boggling to me that Christians are defending, hoarding, cringing with their little RPGs that they think are, I don't know what they think they're fulfilling with them, but anyway, I have no loyalty to any of them. No, I don't even Dungeons and Dragons. I got all the books here. I'm actually rereading Alien RPG, which I really do like. As far as like wanting to GM it and stuff, but I'm going to put a Christian in it if I ever do. But I want to work on this. I love this. I love this even more. I have no real desire to play any of them actually, and even the RPG. I'm just reading it for the ambiance of it, And the reason I do like Alien RPG is that it's canon. Christianity is in there. I mean, because like even I just watched Aliens over the holidays, and oh Jesus Christ, man, we're in deep shit. I'm like, okay. We got Jesus Christ. We have in this dark, festering future of Alien RPG, you can have Christians. Same with Starship Troopers, because they even have a movie, one of the movies where they sort of do a Christian conversion thing, and it's pretty funny. So you can have Christianity in that one, and I mean evangelism, church planting Christianity. You could literally be like these corporate employees or the whatever's in the Alien RPG and evangelize in the game. I mean, obviously you're going to die and get the aliens kill you and all that, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so there's a few others like that. Vazen, I can, I have that one right there. You can obviously make it more Christian, make it more hardcore Christian. You can desecrate their concepts and just bust out Christianity in it, evangelism in it. Anyway, so we'll see. I think I'll make another video on that. Okay, back to this. So I'm going to keep this. I'm not going to go to the D6 thing yet. Or I got to play test it out on my own for a while just to see if I even like it. And if because I do love D20. I don't want to change it. I literally don't want to change it. I just don't know how to get to homeschoolers, and the Christians that would be willing to want this game, because obviously after the last 2 years, I cannot get veteran Christian RPGers in the RPG world to check it out. They're the most asinine individuals of all. I'm pissed off at my fellow brother Christians. Anyway, I go to like some Christian groups where they're talking about Dungeons and Dragons and Faerun or whatever and Forgotten Realms and all this stuff. And I'm just like, ugh, they're all like, they talk about it like church history, and they don't know nothing about church history or something. I don't know. I just don't like the way they talk about it. It's like, it's so interesting to them. I find it bad, whatever. I know I'm being kind of ardent and contentious and stuff, but look at the culture. Look at the RPG culture. It's pretty bad. It's gay. It's trans. It's child sacrifice. It's manipulation. It's drag queens. And we're just going along to get along. So I'm just, kind of a little annoyed. Because this one guy popped into our Discord. I said one sentence and he said incredibly cringe and left, and then he said he's a reformed, and I'm like, what the fuck, Okay. Anyway, all right. So I want to show you something really cool that I've done, and it's pretty freaky deaky as well. I have officially worked with an AI. So I apologize to programmers out there who JavaScript programmers who could have done this. I just don't have the money or time to deal with that, and whatever. And I just, you know what? I'm going to check out this tool, and it's available. I have always done that too in my life. Had scrap around, so I asked AI to make me a script, and it took me a day, not a full day, but quite a few hours. And actually, 3 or 4 of the AIs gave up on me, got pissed off and left. They stopped responding. I was like, oh, they can do that. They can because they kept messing it up, or errors or whatever, or maybe I was doing it wrong. I don't know, but kept erroring out. I wonder if it was the script thing, man. So when you do, I wonder if it's this thing here. I didn't switch these maybe, and I was dogging the AI because I never switched this from chat to script. I wonder, if that was one of the issues. That might have been. They should have told me. Anyway, so I got these scripts here. Check this out, and I'm gonna make this available on my website, whatever, for the game, because you gotta copy and paste them into these macros. So boom, you can enter the amount of die ranks. Like I've got 15 die ranks. So let me explain real quick. In this game, we use die ranks, and die ranks are just bonuses. So I got my prowess is a 4. All right, that's 4 die ranks. I've got two ranks in battle axe. Okay, so there's 2 more. There's 6 die ranks right there. My battle axe is a awesome, super steel Viking blah 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 plus 2. All right, that's 2 more die ranks. So you've got 8 die ranks. And then my cleric blesses me, fight on, brother, we got to do this. And he gives me 4 more die ranks. Blesses me with 4 because he spends 4 faith points and gives me 4. So now I have 12 die ranks. There's 12 there. Let me add one more. You got the GM, I say, you got the high ground. Come on, Riley, stop barking. I know it's crazy out in Hollywood. 13. In this Democrat utopia, it's just human shit and crap everywhere, and freaky drugged out people everywhere in this Democrat utopia. I am very swearing today. I don't know. I'm just okay. Anyway, my apologies. I don't generally swear. But I can swear. I'm an atheist. I'm a former atheist. I can swear like a motherfucker, but I'm not gonna do it. All right. Sorry. 13 die ranks here. I will stop swearing. I got to calm down. Okay. 13 die ranks here. Let's just say. Boom. So what you do is you put your die ranks in, and then it breaks it down for you on the right here at the bottom into wall beasts. Oh, I got this monster selected. Yeah, look at this. See, in my Christians in space sci-fi, they can fight a bunch of beasts and have a gun battle. Oh, here they're having like a barbecue after they killed all these beasts that were unleashed onto the settlement here, do the arena, the pagan Democrat-run gladiator arena here. They unleashed a bunch of, and look at this. We got some corporate troopers here, and these are actually good guys that came down. But and that was kind of a cool scene. But these were a bunch of beasts they had to fight off to clear them out because of the dang bad guys unleashed all their gladiator beasts. Anyway, so now you can click on this. You can put in how many ever die ranks you have. Oh, I got 15, and that's only 3. And then at the bottom right, it'll show you what the dice pool is. Okay, so there it's D12, D12. So what is the die rank? So everything is divisible by 5, right? And this is the die ranks, right? D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, right? So that's the die ranks. And you just divide it by 5. So if I have 15 die ranks, well, divided by 5 is 3. So I got 3 D12s. Roll, and that's a dice pool. Keep the highest. You roll and keep the highest. It's that simple. The reason I do it this way is you just, as a GM and as players, you're not limited now by the amount of bonuses you get, right? You're not limited and it becomes overpowering, right? Imagine if you had 15 die ranks or plus 15 to every roll, or plus 12 or plus, you're always going to be the super high, always hitting things, always doing things unless you're rolling at 1. But with the die ranks and you're rolling these dice instead of constant number, then there's a range there. It's a fun range where you can still fail. And after 2 years, or no, I don't know how many years, but a year and a half, The characters now, 50 plus episodes, 3 hours each, 50, 60 episodes. A person that came in as a new player could play along with them right now. No problem. New player. Now I would double their XPs when their glory points or experience points when they got them, but they could join in the missions right now. And I put up pretty much the same enemies as I did 2 years ago or 60 episodes ago, a year and a half ago. The same kind of, a little more danger, but not a lot. And it's all because of the die ranks, because the when characters get more and more powerful, it just kind of it gets kind of disseminated or averaged out with the dice pool, so you're not constantly overpowering. And it's fun, right? One of the biggest points of a role-playing game is to always get upgrades. So when you were playing D&D or Shadow Dark or whatever, you're going to hit a limit, and then it gets too unwieldy and ridiculous and crazy, and and then you got to homebrew a bunch of different things or whatever. And I'm like, so that's why I did the die rank things, is that you can constantly keep doing the same characters. And besides, we believe in life, right? As a role-playing game, we want our characters to live a long time and bear fruit. We don't want to just throw them through a gauntlet and have them all die and get butchered and stuff. That's not that type of entertainment we Christians want. We want stories. We don't want butchery and debauchery and all that. So that's what the die rank thing is all about here. And let me show you. So that's the first macro I have. So you can put that in, put enemy die ranks, and that'll give you what your dice pool is. Now these second 3 here are all similar. There's little iterations of each other, and me tweaking the AI. And I actually did some JavaScript. I read through the script and looked at what it did and figured it out and fixed it to the way I wanted it to. So the first one here, boom, you can enter the dice pool and you enter your trait. Let's just say +4. So what's a dice pool, right? That's what I did with the die ranks. The die ranks, 15. This one right here is 5, 6, 7 die ranks right here. 5, and then a D6 is 2, right? A D12 is 5, and then the D6 is 2 left over. So 7 die ranks. So that's what the dice pool comes from either you doing this guy here and calculating it. So let me say I got 13 die ranks. All right, let me put that in, and it's just divided by 5, but it's D12, D12, D8. So let me grab that, and I'll put it in here. I can type it in or copy and paste. And there we are, and roll. Now on the bottom right, I had to do this. Here's an interesting thing. Going into the weeds here a little bit with you. I had to. I want the dice to roll, right? I don't want just the result in text. That to me is boring. You got to have the dice roll. So instead of sending it to the Foundry as a computation, it instead sends it as a chat, like a message to the right. And then that chat, I figured this out on my own, is turned into a deferred online roll. So instead of it being just a text, it turns into this button so that I can then roll the dice. Yeah! So I even had a guy on our Discord who made a really cool script. And that was really neat. And this was a while ago before I even knew any of this. And I know he spent a lot of time on it, so I'm kind of bummed. And it really works and it's great. But it just outputted everything as a text over there, and it was quiet. Like you hit it, done, info there, but it doesn't give me the dice roll. And that's obviously one of the biggest parts of role-playing games is rolling dice. So I asked him, and he didn't know, he can't put any more time into it. And I'm like, I get it. I'm not going to push him. So that bums me out. And maybe at some point I can figure out how to put in this deferred inline roll coding into his thing. But his is so, it's really complicated. But anyway, I'm not going to do that just yet. But I do have what I need. So here it is, and it did the dice pool. It did the D20 +4, and then it did the dice pool and picked the highest, which was the, not the 8. It was the 9. So let me see. 9 and 2 is 11 +4 is 14. Yep, perfect. So it did it right. Okay, so that's that one. Now this one, pretty much the same thing, except it's the same thing, but instead of, it just rolls it automatically. So I don't even, boom. What's funny is I just asked the 8. Okay, the 12. I don't know. I'm gonna turn that off. I don't need the 12 to do that. It's only the nat 20 I want to do that. I can turn off that. That's another thing. Anyway, so what it does is it instead of giving me the deferred the where's my mouse? Instead of giving me the little button here with the deferred roll, it just rolls it, and then the deferred roll is now just the info, which is interesting. The AI did that, and I'm like, what? That's wrong. But then I realized, oh, it's still right, but he just did it a weird way. And that was kind of interesting. So I kept that one. So that one's kind of neat. But now here's the one I just did this morning because I'm so awesome in my own humble way. I figured that we have the dice pool, and this one represents the regular die ranks that you get for skills and blessings and the situational awareness that the GM can add to it or whatever. But then there's also holy or power dice, and holy or power dice are dice that they're separate die ranks that are holy. Or like a power die would be like a power hammer or a power armor, and that's mostly in sci-fi. It's not in the regular, but holy is in the regular too. You can have holy die, like you'll have a holy sword, and when I say holy too, as a Reformed Baptist versus Catholic or whatever, Catholics can interpret it their way, and Reformed Baptist can interpret it my way. So let's say they have a holy sword. I think for a Catholic, and don't quote me on this, but I'm kind of thinking this for a Catholic, especially medieval history. Catholics, a holy sword was very holy. Like they really thought it was endowed with holy powers of, an angel or it has some sort of history to it, or the blood of Christ was on it or whatever. So they actually believe in that. For Reformed Baptist, I'm going to say something a little different. I'm going to say it's a holy sword because the person who has that sword has such a close connection and psychological, joyful, faithful connection to the sword that makes it holy, and thusly they believe that it helps them. And so I personally, and this is kind of what I get across generally when I talk about my faith. I don't care, and this is hyperbole, but listen here, just to clarify, or just to really put it clear to you. I don't care if God blesses me in what I'm doing. I don't care about that because I love the Lord God so much. I don't care if he blesses me or not, or if I succeed or not, because I love him and I'm doing this just because I love him. I can't help myself. I love him, so I want to do this. So there's your free will from a Reformed Baptist. I love him so much. I just want to do this and to do something for the Lord. I want to do something for the Lord. I don't, whatever it is. I want to be a doorman at the church or do this, whatever it is for the Lord that you do. That's what you do for the Lord, whether he blesses you or not in that. I mean, I would love for him to bless me in it. So I guess I do care, but I really don't care in the sense of it doesn't matter whether I'm blessed or not. I'm going to keep doing it, or whether I succeed or not, I'm going to keep doing it because I just love the Lord. Okay, so now this is really cool. So now you actually have the holy dice, and then you can do your trait. Let's just leave it like that, and boom, and there it is at the bottom. So now I have the dice pool, which is the regular skill ranks. I have the separate die, which is the holy or power die, whatever I might have, like whatever item I might have, and then my regular trait. The trait is the one constant number, which is your like prowess, like ability score, and then your d20. Boom, roll that, and a 32, right? I'm gonna go with that 12 right now. That's annoying. I want it for the nat 20. I do not want it for the 12. I don't even know why it's on the 12. I don't recall doing that myself. I mean, obviously I did, but I just didn't think I did. Yeah, it's definitely there. So let me go ahead and take that off. Trash. Okay. Just leave it for the nat 20. All right. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm so thrilled about making these macros though, because that's a little tough part of the game when we play is them figuring out their die ranks into dice pools. I think too it would be a lot easier rolling in real life than here in the the interface of the Foundry. So I found that kind of frustrating. And it's not horrible or nothing, but because here's why it's not even horrible, because I know in D&D there's a ton of these little macros, on Foundry, and then in my Star Wars the Star Wars one, there was a ton of macros for the dice pool thing. So they'd have their own interface, so you could do it quite easy. Ergo, so what I'm doing here is not because my game is weak or imperfect. I think my game is perfect. I love this die ring system. I love it because you can play the same characters, and again, like I said, if somebody new came into our game after 60 episodes, their character at first level ish would fit in perfectly. They could still contribute to the story, in the fights, in the evangelism, in the church planning. They could still contribute, and they would go up quickly though because I'd give them double glory points. But perfectly fine. Totally. By the way, in here we got characters that are 60 episodes in, and we got characters here that are 20 to 30 episodes in, and they're all contributing. They're all doing their thing. Or they're actually over here. And that's what I love about the die rank system. And the characters that have been there 60 episodes, they have really good potential roles and stuff, but they can still flub it like in like real life. But it's a wonderful game. Look at this. Look at this. Is a total sci-fi space adventure. I got everything. I got everything these pagan role-playing games have. I have everything the Alien RPG has. I have everything that what are the other ones here that I have? I'm just thinking Star Wars. I have everything that you want for Star Wars in this game. Everything you want from Warhammer 40K you can do in this game. They have Star Crusaders, who are big awesome knights, holy knights that are going around fighting bugs and killer robots and Terminators. I even did little one-offs in here with them playing the Star Crusaders, and they could even start their own Star Crusader campaign if they wanted. And I would do a whole, like a hardcore military kind of thing where they go fight horrible things, but then they still go to the settlement and convert them and set up a church, and then they go and fight the next scary, frightening, horrifying thing. And the Christians in Space one, by the way, and the Apostles of the APOC, they're very much more open to beasts and creatures because of the genetic mutations going on with the evil AI and stuff like that. So you got a wide range of stuff. In the Dark Ages, I am expanding the Dark Ages out to be like darker and more sort of fantastical monsters, but not like fantasy, but more like Conan, King Kong, Hyperborea, more like swords and sorcery, earthbound, medieval. Well, they elves, dwarves, orcs, goblins, giants. And orcs is kind of an amalgam of orc or of goblin and some other words, but all that stuff you can actually are technically medieval history, but not in the way that Lord of the Rings is or high fantasy. Okay, so that's my little explanation. Now we have a cool macro now on the Foundry. I will make those available somewhere on my website at some point. I just need to finish up this die rank thing. I got to rewrite this right here. I got to rewrite this part, simplify it. I got to get my head around it, get this done. Once I get this done, the Kickstarter's done. I'm going to start working. I'm going to start proofreading, editing, and that should go pretty quickly. And then do the prints on Amazon, which should go pretty quickly as well. But I guess a month or so, if I'm really being realistic. Yeah, it's getting close to be done. All right. Then after that, I'm going to work on another Kickstarter as quickly as I can here, actually. A Gothic RPG, a Gothic one. So that may use the D6. Same die ranks, though, but it's going to use a D6 system, which is simple like this, but compatible, oddly enough. But I might stick the Nat 20 or D20s. And my players will want me to stick with this, with the D20. I know they will, because they love it. I love it. My problem is it's harder. It's just harder to grasp for new players. Whereas I think if I told them you got 7 die ranks and they just know 7 D6s and they just throw 7 D6s down, I feel like that's a little more approachable for kids and homeschoolers and all that. And these non-crazy, reformed Christian RPGers that are so freaking, their pagan RPGs are just sacred to them. Anyway. All right. You guys got to chill on that. You guys got to. I'm not the bad guy here. The pagan RPGs are the bad guy here, not me. I'm just telling you they're a sin. I'm not saying they're a sin. what I am saying is, uh, they're making you act and think and put your, your whole life around paganism. So you got to get off that. Whether you just take my evangelism and church planning ideas and then put it into your games, that's fine. Whatever, if that's what you got to do. But try something else. Try it. And let me finish it. I got to finish up. I got to clean up these die rank rules and make sure they're just more approachable, digestible. But anyway, all right. The game of life. Roll holy dice. All right.